Terrific. Thank you. After applause like that, it's a shame I don't have an act. What you see is what you get. One of television's most stylish shows is Whodunit with Comedy, starring Stephanie Powers and this first guest, a handsome leading man, a favorite of everybody's from ABC's Heart to Heart. Robert Wagner is here. Woo! That's good, because he's standing backstage timing your applause right now. They went a full 11 seconds there. When you look at a list of film credits belonging to this next lovely British star, you can't help but be impressed. But right now, here's my double. The handsome co-star of ABC's successful series, Heart to Heart, a fine actor with over 50 films to his credit. Here's Robert Wagner. Anything you want to do? You want to stand? You want to sit?
Oh, you're great. You're great.
Well, I didn't do nothing. Look at them all. We got a wild group over there to the left. They just want to stand. They want you to stand and let them drink it in, you know?
Should I show them? I can show them.
Hey! You know, that's the way you were standing just then, that all of television looks these days with designer jeans. All you see is the rear end of everybody, right?
All day long.
All day long. And whose name are written on yours?
Jordache.
Oh, you have the Jordache look, huh?
Well, but there's Sassoon, too, isn't there? And
oh, there's Sassoon, and Gloria Vanderbilt has her jeans. And
but all day long on that TV set, you see those beautiful...
rear ends.
Rear ends.
Yeah.
Fantastic, huh?
You're watching television, huh?
Just when the rear ends are going around.
Ah. You look good, Robert.
Thank you. Thanks,
have you taken a vacation, or you just jumped right back into the swim of work?
No, we got right back to work. Right
See,
away.
you told me you were going to take that boat and head out to some exotic place. So you made it to Catalina, huh?
Right. I got to Catalina. I also got down to San Diego. Had a wonderful time down there. And I was headed for Mexico, and a few hurricanes and some bad weather. And
that scared you?
Yes, that turned me back. I'm what they call a fair weather sailor.
Oh, I thought you were an old seahorse out there.
No, I just...
Do you know all the calls? Strum the mizzle, mainsail, poop, and all that stuff? Does that mean anything?
I have a power boat.
Oh.
See, that doesn't have to do with all that.
You don't have to strum the minsel, mainsail, poop.
No.
Huh? You just turn on the ignition and away you...
That's it.
Stink pot, they're called.
That's right.
Yeah. How big is your stink pot?
Mine is 57 feet.
Ooh, that's good size.
Yeah, it's a nice boat. It's a beautiful boat.
Is that an expensive hobby?
Oh, yeah. All boats are expensive.
Because you have to have your bottom scraped a lot, don't you? Bob?
Yeah.
But what about the boat? It is an expensive little...
Oh, yeah. It is, but it's wonderful. It's really a great thing to be able to do, and we have a great time on it, you know.
Does the whole family get aboard and away you go?
Yeah, and we run it without a crew, which is very nice to do. I have this one guy that's on it that helps us out a lot, and outside of that, Natalie and I and the kids take it.
Does Natalie know anything about it?
Oh, yeah.
Does she take the wheel once in a while?
Oh, sure. Well, see, we've been in boats a lot. We've had boats all during our life together. So it's really something that we enjoy. And you know, it's once you get hooked by the sea, it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to be able to.
But as you say, those hurricanes, Mother Nature can be frightening at times.
That can blow up very quick out there. As a matter of fact, we've been in some very bad weather. I was in Catalina Island one weekend, and it really blew up pretty big.
Right.
And those guys were great over there. They're wonderful.
How far have you gone? What's the longest?
Well, the boat that we have was built in Maine, and it came around. It's an old boat. It was built in 1960, and it came around through the canal and up the coast of Mexico, and it's really an offshore cruiser. It has about a 1,200-mile range on it, so we're able to take it anywhere.
Keep it down at Marina?
Yeah, I keep it down in red, all right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
certainly
really
it.
fun. We get a big kick out of it.
What else is new in your life? You must have a wonderful, glamorous life every day of the week. No?
Yeah. I do. I mean, it's terrific.
At this point in your life I mean, you've been successful for 20, 25 years now. You've transcended all of the new wave movies and movie stars that have come and gone. Are you still a hungry actor looking for good parts and...
Well, I think, you know, it always doesn't go on one line, you know, Merle. I mean, it goes up and down a lot, and I've been rather fortunate the last, 6 or 7 years. I've had some real good luck, you know, and with this show, with Heart to Heart, I love doing it, and it's something I was, you know, you and I go back a long way
time.
together. And
I know you from the very beginning.
Yeah, and you know, with this.
With a song in my heart.
Yes, yeah, that was a lucky one for me. But with
1 minute. Was it a minute?
Yeah.
1 minute on the screen, that face, where Susan Hayward was playing the late and wonderful Jane Froman. He became a star and overnight, and much desired by movie companies just from that little cameo. I don't think that's ever been done again in pictures.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what was interesting about that, and I mean, you know the story.
You cried.
But yeah, that wasn't very hard to do. That was pretty easy. But, you know, Susan Hayward was marvelous in that picture, and she was wonderful to me, and I didn't really know too much about acting, and so I didn't have a lot of, I was scared most of the time, so it was kind of easy to cry anyway, you know, so. But Zanuck, who was then running the studio, said, you know, that picture's going to do so much for you. And I couldn't quite see that. But the reason it did was because she had gone through all of the things that I was going to face going through. And at that time, it was a very fortunate time for me.
Were there early disasters in your career? Or do you look back kindly on every movie? What was the wonderful picture I loved? And it was the sea and the hurricane and...
Oh, Beneath the 12-Mile Reef.
Beneath the 12-Mile Reef. That might have been among your first...
Yeah, that was a pretty early
2 or 3 pictures,
right? Yeah, that was a very early one with Gilbert Rowland and Terry Moore and all of that. Yeah, that's the one that I got off pretty good with that. That's the one where I had... The only trouble with that was I had to have 5 permanents and 5 dye jobs. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So I'd walk through the docks.
You were a curly-headed devil in that one.
I'd walk through the docks with all the fishermen, you know, giving me the eye a little bit, but... They didn't have body stockings then, you know, and all that kind of thing. So.
Yeah. But were there disasters, films, as you look back now and can kind of laugh about, that you wish you hadn't made?
Yeah, there's a number of those. One in particular that crops up often is, I made a picture called Prince Valiant.
Oh, well.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, but you took a lot of... Of course I saw that. You took a lot of... And one other person did. You took a lot of kidding. What did Dean Martin say to you when he saw you?
Oh, yeah, you know that story.
Yeah.
Well, he was talking to me for about 15 minutes, you know. I think he was a little in the bag.
Yeah.
Dean, you know. He thought he was talking to Jane Wyman.
Because you had bangs.
You remember those days, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. But they were, you know, that was all good. It was a fun time. I was very lucky with all of that, you know, because when I started in the picture business, you know, it was a little bit different than it is today. It was like one big family, you know. I mean, they were all there, and everybody helped you out and kind of got you going and off your feet. And the public has always been wonderful to me. And
But do you remember those early days when you had to do those insane things for the movie magazines?
Mm-hmm.
When they used to stage those fake parties and... Here's Bob in the kitchen. Here's Bob cutting the front lawn.
Mm-hmm. Well,
here's Bob now hanging out the laundry.
Yes.
All that stuff that you had to do. That seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Well, you know, that's when the movie magazines were the big thing.
Oh,
and, you know, I took off and was, from that picture, suddenly a Bobby Sox idol. I mean, I didn't even know what happened to me there for a minute. But...
Someone just sent me one recently. From about 1953.
Were you hanging out the laundry? And
no, it was a full-page photograph, And it was the first page of it. It was showing Hollywood's most promising new movie stars. And then you turn the page, and there I was from Warner Brothers, and there was Grace Kelly. Now, see whatever happened to her. Isn't that funny to see when you look back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you think about all of those people that we worked with, and all those people that started off in the business, and, you know, the directions that their lives have taken.
Right.
It's really quite extraordinary.
Because everything's changed. The whole business has changed.
Different kind of...
What's your proudest work, Bob? If you
Well,
look at all of the things you've done.
You know, I work with some great people.
And I'm discounting your very successful series right now, Heart to Heart. But in movies, is there a moment in a film, is there a scene in a film or a whole film that you can say, this is my best work?
It takes so many people to make a picture.
Yeah.
And it's like what you were talking about with A Song of My Heart. I mean, that moment was edited beautifully, and it was a great moment for me, and they really took time and care with it. I've had some really, you know, I've worked with some wonderful, wonderful people. Spencer Tracy was one. He was great to me, you know. But I think the thing that meant so much to me was to do Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which was to do Tennessee Williams' work.
Right.
And I did it, I had the fortune of working with Sir Laurence Olivier, and he produced it, and I never thought I'd have a chance to play a part like that, because, you know, oftentimes leading men don't really get a chance to have that kind of a part.
This was for television.
Yes, I did it. Natalie played Maggie the cat, and I played Brick, and Sir Lawrence played Big Daddy, and Maureen Stapleton played Mom.
Powerful story.
Oh, it was exciting. That was really great work, and I had a chance to rehearse for 5 weeks, you know, with him, and he took great care and great, you know, and he's a wonderful human being, you know, a very nice man, a professionalism. I mean, he's a great actor, but on top of that, he had great compassion, you know.
We'll take a commercial and come back with Robert Wagner. The kids seen your work?
Oh, yeah.
Have they seen most of it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I came down the stairs the other day, and my little daughter, Courtney, looked at me and she said, "Daddy, you look just like Jonathan Hart." Which, that's the character I play, you know?
Right.
I said, "No, it's me. It's your daddy." You know, I have to get her kind of straighten around there for a second. Yeah, they see our things. They get a little bit, it's strange, you know, how they react. I remember when Natasha, my other daughter, was quite young, she saw Natalie in a film called The Great Race, and she was in some kind of jeopardy on an iceberg, and she got very, very nervous and very, very frightened that her mother was in this position, because you can imagine sitting there looking at the screen and then seeing your mother in that kind of thing. And she was very young at that time, so you have to kind of slowly, you know, ease them into it, and so that they know what you're doing.
If you started your whole career over today as a brand new actor, with the way Hollywood works today, would you know how to make it?
Would I know how to make it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know, it depends on what making it means. I mean, to be successful and work well. I was brought up, and I always believe the most important thing is the material, and that's what, you know, you really search for, and that's why, you know, like when I walked out here and all these people
get
clapped
that wonderful
for me,
recognition.
And I thank you very much for that. It's you know, off of characters that, like, for instance, this one that I'm doing now, to see that become a life force and see people recognize you from that, and that you're part of bringing that together, that all is the material, you know?
Yeah.
And from the days that you and I started, that was the main thing, was always the book, the script, the material.
But also you had a powerful studio behind you, constantly building your name.
Well,
placing your pictures, your name, making the public desirous of seeing you.
Yeah, well, that doesn't happen too much anymore.
Do you go to the movies today?
Oh, all the time.
Do you like what you see?
A lot of it, yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of wonderful pictures being made, and I think that the only thing that I object to, you know, personally now, Mervis, I like to have more intimate films, do you know?
Yeah.
And the tendency in producing today is to make big pictures with lots of people. pull lots of names in, lots of different characters, and not really deal with all of them as deeply as they could possibly be dealt with. An example, there was a marvelous film that was made called Kramer versus Kramer. It dealt with Dustin, that boy, and his wife, right? Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful picture. You know, well, to get a picture like that made today, to go...
It's very difficult.
It's very, very difficult because of the cost of what it takes, and people, they want to get more on the screen. They want to put more, bigger, bigger, bigger.
Do you sometimes yearn for a great love story on the screen?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, I do too.
I do. I really do, and I think they're very much ready for it. And I just think it's, you know, it's hard today to have one's personality, you know, evolve, to come out of it, because most people, you get so submerged with plot and connective tissue and all of that, but when you can really see somebody who can lay it out there, like Dustin was so marvelous in that film. You know, he had time to do it. They weren't pressed, you know, and it was prepared very well. It took a lot of time. The director wrote it and produced it.
Is there one person, Bob, in your life who's been the most influential in advising you in your career, and maybe a director or a producer or an actor?
I mean, everybody's, you know, you take something from everybody, don't you?
Who gave you the best advice, though? Spencer Tracy ever give you advice?
Well, yeah, sure. Spence gave me some very good advice. I mean, he laid it on me pretty good at times, you know, like, for instance, learn your lines, stay out of the way of the furniture, and keep moving, you know.
Right. Don't bump into the furniture.
That's right. You know.
That's nice. Let me take a break, and we'll come back with Bob Wagner.
Could you tell us how you feel?
Well, this is what...
Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman star in